Welcome to another Nida demonstration video. This video is intended to demonstrate what a typical student workstation looks like. In this case, there'll be a computer, there'll be a monitor, keyboard, mouse, a Nida 130 trainer. In this case, it's the 130 ST trainer. We have a multimeter, an oscilloscope, and a function generator. In addition to that, there will be a complement of experiment cards depending on the subjects that the student is taking at the time. Could be a simple DC circuit card, or it could be a relatively complex microprocessor or avionics circuit card or set of circuit cards. Regardless, they will all have pretty much the same thing. Students are capable or able to run a manual curriculum if that's what the instructor wants to do. The preferred method, and the one that is used most often by Nida customers, is the computer assisted instruction mode. In the computer mode, the student and everything the student does is controlled by the computer. They would log in, they would receive their own personal menu, they would be presented with the first lesson in a topic area. They would take that lesson. When they finish that one successfully, they go to the next lesson. If they run an experiment, the computer is connected to the trainer, so all of the voltages, any circuit setup, it's all done automatically. So it just takes out some of the potential for error that a student might inject into a system. And in doing that, our position is that electronics is hard enough for the student. We don't want extra things in there. So the computer assisted mode is absolutely the preferred mode in today's school market. A little bit about operation. Student will come to their workstation. Like I said, they will log into the program with their signed login script. Their menu will come up. They will see a lesson. Let's just say, for the sake of a lesson title, it's series circuits. They would click on that. It would go in. It would come up with an objective page so that they see what the objective of that lesson is. In series circuits, there just happens to be two theory objectives and an experiment objective. So they would go into the first objective. They would do whatever the teaching has them do. There are built-in embedded questions. Those questions are automatically looked at, scored, and feedback is provided if the student doesn't answer them correctly. And the intent there is to do similarly to what an instructor does. If a student has a problem, we provide assistance. Well, the computer does the same thing. It provides assistance, allows the student to finally come to the correct answer, and they move on. At the end of the two theory objectives, the student is required to do the performance. Our logic is that if we're teaching theory, it's for the purpose of applying it to a physical circuit. So the experiment does just that. It's not a troubleshooting experiment. It is simply to reinforce the theory. So when they're in the experiment, and again, everything is being tracked, everything is being recorded back to the server. So when the student finishes that lesson, the last thing they take is a quiz. It's a 10-question randomly generated quiz only over those three objectives, the two theory and the experiment. We typically set the passing score at 70%. If the student receives a 70%, then they're automatically allowed to go to the next lesson in sequence. If they don't, they would go back in. The instructor would review the material, probably provide some assistance, and they would retake only the parts of the lesson that they didn't satisfy based on the final quiz. The instructor, on the other hand, or facilitator, has the ability to monitor the students live as they're taking the lessons, or after the fact, when the student maybe has a question, they can bring the student over and they can discuss an area where the student was having some difficulty, or the instructor may bring the student over because when they were reviewing the student's material, they saw a place where the student just didn't seem to have the right idea. So it allows the instructor to really pinpoint their assistance to where they're giving the student that needs the help at that time. So as a student completes a lesson, they'll just continue on until the program is finished. And the only real thing that changes in a student workstation will be the actual circuit cards that are plugged onto the trainer. So when I'm finished with one subject, I would take it off. I might pick up another circuit card that would be in the next lesson. Again, they just plug on the trainer. That's simple. Thank you.